Good day, everyone. Today, we'll delve into Chapter 8, which focuses on franchise support and services. In our previous discussion, Chapter 7, we explored how to develop a franchise and staff to recruit and engage potential franchises. Now, we move forward to what happens after the franchise agreement is signed and the initial fee is paid. At this point, the formal relationship between the franchisor and the franchisee begins. To ensure a successful partnership, franchises provide essential support and services to guide and develop their franchises. The importance of franchisor support. When someone decides to invest in franchise, they're not just buying a business name, they're also expecting support, guidance, and proven system from the franchisor. The support usually includes things like helping with site selection, providing staff training, offering marketing assistance, and giving access to marketing programs. Some of these supports are written clearly in the franchise agreement, while others are optional. But whether required or optional, the supports are all important. Why is this support so important? Well, franchises have the experience and knowledge that most new business owners don't have. That's one of the main reasons people choose to buy a franchise instead of starting a business from scratch. So when franchises don't fulfill these expectations, it can cause serious problems. Now, what happens if the franchisor doesn't provide proper support? Franchises might feel lost or confused. They may not know how to improve their sales, manage employees, or handle customer complaints. This leads to poor performance or even business failure. And when one franchise fails, it doesn't just affect that one branch, it can affect the entire brand. Other potential investors may hear about the failure and lost trust in franchise. It may also lead to legal problems or complaints. On top of that, when franchisees are not supported well, they start asking for more help. This puts more pressure on the franchisor's resources. If the franchisor cannot handle all these requests, then more franchises may suffer. But when franchisors give strong and complete support, the result is very different. A study by Franchise Business Review and Engage Consulting surveyed 300 franchise brands and 24,000 franchises. It showed that franchises who receive good support are 3.7 times more profitable than those who don't. That's a big difference, and it proves that support is not just a bonus, it's a key to success. In the following sections, we'll explore key components required to grow a new franchise unit into a successful one, including pre-opening assistance, franchise opening assistance, marketing programs, operational support, financial performance measurement, and franchise counseling. Pre-opening assistance. Pre-opening assistance is the help that a franchisor gives to the franchisee before the business officially opens. In simple terms, this is the support that helps the new business prepare and get ready to operate. There are three main types of help that franchisors usually give. This assistance typically includes site selection assistance, franchisee training, and franchisor services. Why is pre-opening assistance important? If the franchisor does not give enough help, the franchisee can make wrong decisions, like choosing the wrong location, hiring the wrong people, or not understanding how the business should run. This mistake can cause the business to fail or lose a lot of money. So overall, pre-opening assistance is very important. It gives the franchisee a better chance of success, helps avoid problems, and makes sure everything is ready before the doors open. Let me start with the first part of pre-opening assistance, which is site selection assistance. This is help that the franchisors give to franchisees when choosing the best location for the business. This is very important, especially for the food and retail franchises, because the location can strongly affect the success of the store. If the franchise is placed in a poor location, like one with low customer traffic or hard to access parking, it can lead to low sales or even closure. That's why franchisors usually provide support by using real estate companies, site selection, software, or even handling the list themselves. For example, Christian Brothers Automotive looks at things like customer demographics, traffic, and nearby competition. Once they find a good location, they build the store and lease into the franchisee. On the other hand, Vince Barker Place allows franchisees to look for a site themselves but still requires franchisor approval. Also, the franchise operations manual gives location guidelines like checking parking, visibility, and nearby businesses, and including buildings layout plans and designs. Before any renovation starts, the franchisor must approve everything to avoid delays or costly mistakes. In short, site selection assistance is the first and one of the most important steps in pre-opening assistance because it helps the franchisee start their business in the right. Now let's move on to the second part of pre-opening assistance, which is franchisee training. Franchisee training is one of the most important supports that a franchisor provides. It prepares the franchisee with all knowledge, skills, and tools they need to open and operate the business properly. If training is poor, the business could fail and it might damage a brand's reputation. This is why franchisors treat training as a priority. It also helps in attracting young employees, especially millennials and Gen Z, who value training opportunities when looking for jobs. A good example is Kelly's, a casual fast food franchise. Kelly's has been a business since 1951 and their franchise training program is very detailed. They provide 12 weeks of training for the franchise owner at their corporate headquarters, 8 weeks of training for the management staff, that's total of 20 weeks of training, showing how serious they are in making sure their franchises are fully prepared. Training usually covers six key topics. Business management teaches franchises leadership skills, team motivations, and basic management tools. Franchise operating procedures gives detailed steps and standards to maintain product and service consistency. Human resource management covers hiring, job descriptions, staff training, and performance evaluation. Franchise-specific marketing information helps franchises understand the product or service and how to present it to customers. Marketing teaches advertising techniques, customers engagement, store layout, and pricing strategies. Financial management explain how to handle business finances, royalties, reports, and bookkeeping software. Training is often given in two parts, one before the location is ready and one just before the opening to make sure franchisees don't forget the important information. Some training is also updated later on for new products, marketing programs, or procedures and can be done through webinars or conferences. In summary, franchisee training ensures that each new franchise location opens strong and operates successfully, following the proven system of the franchisor.
So the next one is the operational service. Operational services refers to the various forms of supports and assistance that franchisors provide to help franchisees run their business more smoothly and efficiently. These services are designed to reduce the operational burden on franchisees and ensure consistency and compliance across all franchise units. By offering these services, franchisors enhance the franchisee's ability to manage daily operations, allowing them to focus more on customer services, sales, and business growth. So, there are types and examples of operational services. First is that the payroll services. Franchisors often partner with professional payroll companies to provide franchisees with affordable and reliable payroll processing. So, example, a franchisors may have partnership with ADP or Paychex, allowing franchisees to access their services at discounted rates. This ensures employees are paid correctly and legal payroll obligations like tax and withholdings are met without hassle. Second is that vendor purchase discount. Franchisors usually have agreement with approved suppliers to provide goods and materials at lower prices. An example of this is that a fast food franchise like Subway may have a deal with specific food distributors, allowing franchises to purchase ingredients at a reduced cost, ensuring consistency in quality and pricing across all locations. Third, accounting, HR, and IT support. Franchisors may provide access to tools or personnel to help franchises with bookkeeping, hiring, and technology setup or troubleshooting. So, example of this is that a franchisors might offer a cloud-based accounting system for free or at a reduced price along with HR templates for contracts and policies and IT supports helplines. So next one is the pre-packaged accounts. So some service-based franchises offer franchises pre-arrangement client accounts, meaning the franchise begins operation with paying customers already secure. So what does it mean? Jumpstarts businesses operation and revenue without needing find clients from scratch. So example of this is that a commercial cleaning franchise like Servpro may provide new franchise with contracts for offices or facilities that need regular maintenance. This allows the franchise to start operations with a guaranteed client base. So the last one is that the third party services. Franchisors may work with external services provided third parties to handle special tasks. So what does it mean? These third party services are often used to manage the payroll, withhold taxes, and make required payments to government agencies on behalf of franchise. Example, a franchisor may contract a third-party payroll service to automatically deduct Social Security, health insurance, and income tax from employees, pay and send those payments directly to the appropriate agencies. This helps ensure full legal compliance and avoid penalties. So the next one is the franchise opening. Franchise opening refers to all the activities and efforts involved in launching a new franchise unit and introducing it to the public and local community. The goal is to create excitement, attract initial customers, and ensures the businesses start strong in its target area. So, key components of franchise opening. First is the grand opening. The grand opening is a major promotional event that is officially marks the starts of the franchise operations. What it involves. So, a public celebration that may include a ribbon cutting, invitation to local leaders such as city officials or community influencers, live music, food samples, games or giveaways, promotional offers like discounts or free items. Franchises rule. The franchisor may help organize the event or share the cost, but in some cases, the franchise is expected to cover some expenses. So example of this is a new ice cream franchise may invite the mayor for ribbon cutting, offer buy one get one free cones, and hand out balloons to kids to draw in families. So next one is the promotion. So familiar na taning promotion kay balik-balik na ni sa tuang kwan subject ng Serban. So promotions are used to attract attentions and encourage people to try the new business, especially in the first few weeks. So there are types of promotion. So first is the coupon for free discount items, limited time event, free gifts with purchases, loyalty cards, or membership offers. Example of this is that a pizza franchise might offer 50% of any orders during the first week or give away free drinks with every meal. So, soft opening. A soft opening is a quieter, limited launch before the grand opening. It allows the franchise to test operations and train staff in real condition without the pressure of a full-scale launch. So, purpose ani is that identify and fix any issues with service equipment or processes, get employee feedback and practice routine, serve a small group of customers, sometimes a friend and family or selected guests. Example is that a coffee shop franchise might open for a few days with no advertising to serve a smaller group, allowing barista to practice before the big event. Next one is the post-opening support. Once the franchise is officially open, the franchisor continues to offer supports and guidance to ensure success. The support may include regular check-in or site visits, marketing assistance, training refreshers for staff, help resolving operational or customer service issue. For example, a franchisor might send support to a manager to stay for the first week to observe operations, offer advice, and help handle any challenges. So, the next one is the franchise marketing. Franchise marketing refers to the advertising, promotional activities, and marketing strategies designed to help franchises attract customers, build brand awareness, and drive sales to their specific franchise units. This marketing supports is a major reason why many individuals choose to invest in a franchise because they benefit from an establishment, brand image, national advertising, and professional marketing tools provided by the franchisor. So, franchisor support in marketing. So, franchisors typically provide varying level of marketing support. This can include national or regional advertising campaigns, marketing materials like flyers, social media templates, videos, and etc. Brand guidelines and promotional strategies, online presence, and SEO supports. However, not all franchisors offer the same level of assistance. Limited supports can use lower sales per franchise, frustration and dissatisfaction, weaker brand presence in the market. So, key components of franchise marketing support. First is that implementing marketing program. Franchisors often design and roll out structured design marketing programs that franchisee are expected to follow. What it includes: pre-made promotional campaigns, seasonal offers, or event-based marketing. Example like sa mga Valentine's Day or mga Christmas na guidelines on how to use branding in local promotion. Example na is that a gym franchise may launch a New Year, New You campaign each January that all franchises must participate in using shared marketing materials. Second is that franchise advertising funding. Most franchisors collect marketing or advertising fees from franchisees to fund national or regional campaigns. So there are types of funds. First is the National Advertising Fund, used to large-scale branding like TV, social media ads, local advertising fund for local promotions and outreach by the franchise. Example, a fast food chains may require each franchise to contribute 2% of monthly sales to a national advertising fund, which is then used for commercials or online ads promoting the entire brand. The next one is the franchisor's pricing, mandated versus suggested retail price or the SRP. Franchisors may set standardized pricing to maintain brand consistency or they may suggest price but allow franchises to adjust them based on local market condition. Mandated pricing, it means all units must sell the same price. Second, suggested pricing is the franchises can choose based on customer demand, computation, or cost. Example, a coffee franchise may mandate a standard price for a small latte while allowing flexibility for local pricing on seasonal drinks. So next is the franchisor national account program. Some franchisor negotiate national contracts with a large clients or corporation which benefits all franchisees. So what it does? It gives franchises access to major customers' accounts they could not secure on their own. Example, a cleaning services franchise may have a national contract with a hotel chain. So franchises in a different cities are automatically assigned to clean those hotels in their area. So next is that government contracts. Franchisors may also secure government deals and assign franchises to fulfill them. So what it does, opens a revenue streams and provides consistency work through a public sector or clients. Example, a security service franchise may win a contract to provide guards at government's building, which are then serviced by local franchisees. Next is implementing marketing programs. A franchise marketing program includes a combination of regional and national advertising efforts aimed at promoting the overall brand and helping franchises build local visibility and customer engagement. These programs are usually developed and guided by the franchisors to ensure consistency across all locations. So the purpose of the marketing program is that boost brand awareness in the local market, supports franchises in attracting and retaining customers, and maintain a consistent brand message across all units. So steps for launching an effective marketing program. First is provide marketing materials. Franchisors should supply each franchise with a startup marketing kit that includes essential promotional tools, What to include? Brochures, print ads, posters, digital templates, or the social media graphics, email campaigns, and signage and banners. Example, a fitness franchise might give new owners professionally designed flyers and Facebook ad templates to help promote their grand opening. So second is identify effective promotion. The franchisor must select promotional items or campaigns that are not only appealing to customers but also economically sustainable for the franchise. So what to consider? Promotions that drive foot traffic or online orders, offers that do not hurt profit margins, alignment with customer interest, example like loyalty card, limited times discount. Example, a smoothie franchise might find that offering a free drink after 5 purchases encourage repeat visits without cutting into profits too much. So next is measure advertising effectiveness. To continuously improve the marketing program, the franchisor should track results and collect feedback. How to measure? Compare sales performance before and after the campaigns. Use customer response data like coupon redemptions, website traffic, social media engagement, and then gather feedback from franchises on what worked and what didn't. So, example, a franchisor may learn through sales tracking and franchise reports that a back-to-school promotion increased customer visits to, to customer visits, but a buy one get one free offer significantly reduced profits. So the next is the franchise advertising funding. So franchise advertising funding refers to the financial contributions made by franchises towards a central advertising fund that is managed by the franchisor. This fund is used to support brand-wide marketing campaigns, increasing overall visibility and benefiting all franchise units. How the advertising fund works. So, the advertising fund is separate from royalties or other fees and is held in a segregated account. Contributions from each franchise are pooled together to finance national, regional, and digital marketing efforts. These systems allows the brand to launch more effective and impactful campaign than a single franchise could afford individually. So, the next fish, the key features and guidelines. So, efficient marketing tool. By combining funds, franchisors can afford high quality and wide-ranging advertising such as national TV commercials, digital campaigns, sponsorships, or influencers partnerships. Example, a franchise like McDonald's may use advertising fund contributions to sponsor a Super Bowl commercial, gaining massive exposure. So next is the advertising committee. Once enough funds are collected, some franchisors establish an advertising committee. This committee may include both franchisor staff and selected franchisees. So the goal is to ensure fair and strategic use of funds with franchise input. So the next is the contribution rates. Rates are usually based on percentage to gross revenue, typically 2% or 4%, or sometimes a fixed monthly amount. Example, a property stewards a maintenance franchise requires 0% to 2% depending on the agreement. So, next is the large campaigns and disputes. Major brands often use fund for large-scale media buys, but this can also lead to disputes if franchises fail funds or misuse or irrelevant their local market. Example of this is a franchisor spend most of the ad fund on a national campaign but neglect local promotions, franchises may express concern. So, next is the startup flexibility. New or smaller franchisors may delay ad fund contribution until they reach 5 to 10 franchisees. This allows early franchises to focus on launching operations without immediate marketing fees. So next is the transparency and reporting. franchises have the right to know how their contributions are spent. So, the fund must be kept in a separate account. An annual or on request report should be made available. Seven is the additional, uh, I mean, local ad spending requirements. In addition to contributing to the central fund, franchises are usually required to spend a minimum monthly amount, for example, like 1,000 to 4,000 plus on the marketing. Franchises must report their spending to the franchisor. Overspending in one month can often cover shortfalls in another, offering some flexibility. Example of this, the franchise might spend 6,000 on local ads in January and only 2,000 in February, balancing out over the 2 months. So next is the franchisor pricing, mandated versus suggested retail price. Franchisors have two primary approaches when it comes to setting prices for their franchises: mandated pricing and suggested retail pricing, or the SRP, is the choice affects franchise flexibility, pricing consistency, and customer expectation. First is the mandated pricing. So what it is? The franchisors requires all franchises to charge a specific price for a certain products or services. So, what's the purpose ani? So, ensures uniform pricing across all locations, which helps maintain brand consistency and avoid customer confusion. Example: a national burger chain may mandate that a cheeseburger must be sold at 99 pesos in all locations. So there are advantage and disadvantage. So pros: consistent customer experience, easier national advertising, and stronger brand control. So there are disadvantage: may not reflect local market condition. Example: cost of rent, competition, or income levels. And also it can limit the franchise flexibility. Second is the suggested retail pricing, or the SRP. So what it is? So the franchise recommends a price, but the franchise is not required to follow it. This gives flexibility based on local market conditions. Second is the common in franchising due to varying operational costs and market competitiveness. Example: a coffee franchise may suggest a latte price of 120 pesos, but allow franchises in high-rent areas to charge 130 pesos. So, promotional note: when national advertising promotes discounts or sales, the phrase at participating location is often used. This means not all franchises are required to honor the promotion, but customers are notified in advance. And also there are the pros and cons. Pros: flexibility for local market pricing, allowing franchisees to stay competitive, encourage franchise autonomy, and the disadvantages can lead to inconsistent pricing across location. And second is potential customer confusions if price is differ.
Franchisor National Account Programs. So, a national account program is a marketing strategy employed by a franchisor to provide specific clients or customers beneficial pricing when the purchasing franchisee products or service from a franchisee or franchisor company location. So, it is important because it can provide franchisees with a pre-sold customer in their territory. So, we have benefits for franchisor and franchisees. First is generates revenue without extensive sales activities and adds appeal to the franchise program, helping attract new franchises. So, ang eligibility and operation po is requires a minimum number of locations to secure a national account, and NAS can be regional or national depending on a franchise location. So last is franchisor negotiates and offer franchises the opportunities to serve the national account programs in their territory. Government contracts. Another important part of marketing program is a government contract. Syempre, of course, you have agreement between federal, state, or local governments and also non-local governments. So, they have entities that allows the government to purchase products or service from a non-government entity. So, A government contract is a legally binding agreement between a government agency and a private company or organization. So we have eligibility and bidding. Franchisor must be recognized by the government to bid for contracts, of course. And also they submit business proposals covering execution, delivery dates, and also the requirements. So, SBA support, the Small Business Administration provides a menu or of service that provides guidance on bidding for government contracts. Franchisors operation support and evaluation are the various activity franchisor staff engaged to provide franchisees the ability to enhance or improve its franchisees operation and financial performance. So financial franchisor support, they includes a process that can support and improve franchise operation, and also to evaluate franchisee financial performance and assess performance compliance with franchisee operating standards. So we have three main components of franchise operation support: franchise visit, the franchise field representative, and last is key performance indicators. First, we have a franchisor site visit. It is often involves a physical visit by a franchisor or representative to a franchise operating location to gauge franchise compliance. So, it is a physical visit by a franchisor or a representative sa mga location naghadapit sila nagtukod. So, kailangan po di-visit para sa ilang more compliance o kung sa mga gani ang kulang. So, the benefits is provides direct feedback on location appearance, provide presentation and marketing strategies. Second is allow face-to-face communication, which is more effective than digital. Yes, of course, communication or emails or phone. And survey insight. A survey found that 72% of franchise field consultant didn't spend enough time visiting franchise units. Muna nakapait nila mo nang reklamo kasi ng uban kay wala may bisita gud. Then last is effectiveness. Site visits are beneficial for both franchisor and franchisees. However, some franchises may not require sites visit. Mo na siya. The franchisor field representative, providing franchisor visits. The franchisor representative, also known as a regional director, field consultant, or franchise consultant. This position aims to support, advise, and audit the assigned franchisees. So, also a franchisor operation representative play a significant role in a franchisee organization as they are constantly monitoring and managing the performance of their assigned franchisees. So we have a visit. Initial visits are critical 1 to 2 months after the opening. So to guide and assist franchisees. Then next is frequency. Visits vary by franchises type or from quarterly to annually. And benefits. In-person visits are more effective for feedback and assistance compared to remote communication. Yes, of course. Then franchise perspective. Franchises value visits for feedback and performance insight. And also, relationship building, of course, it is important. Representative documents finding and offer improvement suggestion. And also, documents. Proper records help prevent disputes and support corrective actions. And last is challenges. Franchisees typically know their business better, making or indicators essential for tracking performance. Key performance indicators. So, managing franchise financial performance is a process that includes the gathering of individual franchise financial data. So, it is analyzing the data and identifying the performance result to determine how each franchisee and the overall franchise system is performing. Yes, of course. So, it is important also process for building a successful franchise operation or program. So, it helps to maintain operating standards and identify franchise who are not meeting important goals, of course. So, we have here following are the key standards or key performance indicators the franchise use. We have gross sales, measure total sales, and is used to calculate royalties and rank franchises. So, sa mga tag-as, so mga boss ba nga medyo gamay pa mo franchise. So, monthly sales growth. of course, track sales growth or decline and compare franchise performance. And third is franchise monthly gross margin percent and dollars. Indicates profitability and identifies discrepancies in franchise performance. And last, franchise profitability. So of course, kinahanglan jud identify which franchise are profitable and which are not. Last is summary. Franchisor support is essential for franchisee success, covering training and operation marketing and additional service like discounts and HR support, periodic audits, and key indicators help ensure compliance and identify areas needing improvement. Effective support and management is key to the growth and success of the franchises. Thank you.